guys, and welcome to my first ever episode. Well, I don't really know what to call it yet, but it's basically a preview show of our upcoming game. Of course, this game is the first game of the season, Salford away. It's live on BT, and it's a 12:30 quick kickoff. So yeah, it's a new show, and I'm just going to get into a bit about what I'm going to do and what happens on this kind of show. So basically, it's a show for the fans and Orient fans and people that watch this YouTube channel, just to give you a bit of extra knowledge going into the upcoming game. But you know what I want to do on this show is get other Orient fans on it. So because it's the first episode, I've tried to get people on it, but 3 people have pulled out so far, and was late notice as well. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get anyone on here today, but I'm recording this a bit early, so in case later on in the show someone might be on, but I don't think so. But yeah, I kind of want Orient fans to come on 1 or 2 each week and discuss their thoughts ahead of the game, their thoughts on the opposition and things like that. So if you would like to do that, you know, just comment below, and I will get in touch with you. But like I say, this show, I don't know whether there will be anyone, but I'm recording early in case someone does come along. But yeah, also I'm going to be informing everyone about what's gone on around Orient during the week, and also the opposition club. Again, it happens to be Salford this week, and you know, yeah. So let me know what you guys think as well at the end of the video. Whether you'd like to see more of these. I'm probably going to do it throughout the whole season and make it a series, but yeah, just let me know. And also, if you have any names for the show, then let me know as well. I had a couple, maybe the Orient Phone In or the Dragon's Den or something like that, but yeah, if you have any names, then just let me know. Another feature in this preview show is I'm going to take pictures, screenshots of Twitter and maybe some on Facebook in the coming preview shows of what the fans have had to say ahead of games, ahead of the season, of course, for this video. So yeah, you can just see that will appear on your screen right here. About Salford first. They are the home team in this fixture, of course. A club with a lot of ambition, rising up through the leagues. I remember watching documentaries on them when they were in the few divisions below the National League North. So, you know, what they've done is quite remarkable and unique. But you know, money talks, and we'll get onto that now. They've brought in a lot of players. I think it was over 10. They've brought in some very big names. Nathan Pond from Fleetwood, who was their captain last season, and for a few seasons. They've also brought in Danny Lloyd from Peterborough, which is reported to be a few £100,000, maybe £500,000. And he's also reported to be on around 100k a year, which is a lot at this level. They've also brought in Adam Rooney, which is the biggest surprise out of them all. You know, swapping Europa League football for the likes of Harrogate and Solihull Moors away, and that's no disrespect to them, but it shows how much money talks in the game, and that was a huge statement to put out. A lot of people took note of that particular signing, and that's when they got a lot of hate, I'd say. I think my opinion on it, I think everyone's got an opinion on Salford at the minute. I don't particularly like what they're doing. You know, they are going out to buy the league and just to throw money at it, and that doesn't always work. It could literally turn against them. And I think if they don't win the league or get promoted this season, would it be a failure? Yes, even though they've only just come up from the National League North, I think it will be a failure. They spent all that money, and they've spent it for one reason, and that's to go up. But again, you have to say they're kind of smart, because a lot of the time in the modern game, spending a lot of money and having money does take you further up the leagues. Unfortunately, I don't like the fact that football's got to that, but it has, and even at non-league, you see loads of teams with money like that, Billericay, Salford. So Yeah, they've got a great financial backing with the class of '92 with Nicky Butt, Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, Phil Neville, Gary Neville, and they've got another billionaire businesswoman and another bloke on the board as well who's got a lot of money. So they've got a good stadium as well. They've got a good squad of players. Most Football League players. The only thing I think is good about playing Salford now is that they haven't gelled yet. As you see with Orient last season, we're a big fish in a small pond, if you like, in terms of our place in the league. But we went out and brought a whole new squad because we had no players. Threw it all together with a new manager. They had to try and learn under the new manager. We changed manager halfway through. And also they had to get used to knowing each other's playing styles, and it didn't happen. It didn't click very early on in the season, and it takes time to gel. So maybe playing Salford when they're not gelled as a team yet, might be not the right time to play them, but also could not be the right time to play them because they're going to want to put out a statement, and if they beat us, that is a statement that have been put out that they're going to be up there this season. I think they will anyway. But likewise for us, if we beat Salford, that's a bit of a statement for us as well. So I think this game's got a lot riding on it. You look at the end of the season, maybe we're the two teams that a lot of people have backed to go up, and this could, looking back at this game, this could mean something at the end of the season where you could have think, if we'd have beat Salford or if they'd have beat Orient, then you might finish in a different position and you might have won the league or you might have just get into the playoffs. So, it is a massive fixture. They've also brought in a big statement with their manager, Graham Alexander. He's got experience in League One. His last two jobs were Fleetwood and Scunthorpe, who was at previously. And they've attracted a manager like that at non-league. Of course, money talks again, but they've got the right structure and placement, and I think they've credit to them for that. You have to spend really to get out the leagues now, but yeah, it's going to be a really, really tough game, and one of the toughest we'll have all season, and also one of the most mouth-watering tests in the National League at the moment. I personally say we're the biggest club, and that's not really being biased. I think you look at now, Tranmere are gone. The only other big clubs are really Chesterfield and Wrexham. I'd say we were bigger than them, especially in recent years. And they're obviously the club with the ambition and the money, so it's a huge game, isn't it? Quite a well-known and interesting fact about Salford. It's going to be on your screen right here. A very well-known fact about Salford is, of course, who they're owned by, as you can see in the picture. Phil Neville, Nicky Butt, Ryan Giggs, Gary Neville and Paul Scholes. Obviously, the class of '92 own Salford City, which gives them a lot of publicity, and it's obviously a great thing for the club. They've came in, single-handedly really risen this club from the dead and taken it to the National League, and they've got ambitions to take it higher. You can also have a little sneak preview at Salford Stadium, which will be on the screens again right there. Salford's ground is called the Peninsula. It's not a very big ground, but it's a really modern ground, and I'm quite looking forward to going here because it does look quite nice. Now, talking about Orient, my favourite subject to talk about. Summer window for us. We've brought in two new players, James Alabi and Dale Gorman. Alabi from Tranmere and Gorman from Stevenage, who Gorman is not going to be available for the upcoming game. He signed him with a broken ankle, so he's obviously injured and he's coming back in a recovery stage. He played it against Greenwich Borough on Tuesday night in a friendly, and apparently he played all right, and it's also a good workout for him, a good chance to try and get up to some match fitness, but that'll probably take him maybe a few weeks, 6 weeks or so to get back into the swing of things, I'd say. But the good thing with Orient going into this season is that we've done what we had to do last season. That was get stability on and off the pitch. We did it in the end. We got rid of Davis and we got in Edinburgh. Edinburgh's brought in a really solid. He's brought up a solid team really. The players, you can see how much they love working under him, and it's really nice to see because we haven't seen that personally as Orient fans for quite a few years now. But also the fact that going into this season, again, like I talk about stability wise, we've gelled now. We've only brought in two players. They fit in straight away. We've pretty much got the same team from last season, and again, that's another thing that we haven't had at Orient for a few years now. But it's great to see that. I think I'm very optimistic about this season, as much as all Orient fans are, of course. There's a lot of talk, especially from Martin Ling, Edinburgh, just to get into the playoffs. I personally feel like with the size of the club and the players that we've got, we should be looking at going for the league title. But, you know, the only thing is with aiming for the playoffs, that's a bit risky, because if you fall a little bit short of that, you might finish outside them. And obviously that means you don't get in them. You have to wait till next season to go again. But if you go for the league and you fall a little bit short, you might finish 4th, 5th, 6th. But then you'll still win the playoffs. So I'd go for the league, personally. But, you know, you've got to trust the manager and the players, because, you know, they seem to be getting it right. Pre-season's been good for us. You know, Karoma with 7 goals, Bon with 6, I think, and the Larby with either 5 or 6. So, yeah, we're scoring a lot of goals, and we've got a lot of goals in the team. Something I mentioned in the Southend vlog as well. Last season, Macaulay Bon was just heavily relied on to score all the goals. But this season, we've got, you know, Karoma and the Larby up front that have scored goals in pre-season, shown they can score goals. And, you know, Macaulay Bon won't be the guy that has to do all the work and score all the goals and has all the pressure on him, because he's going to have support, which might up his game as well. It should do it. I personally feel like we'll come 3rd or 4th this season. I think if we get into the playoffs in the top 7, you know, of course you'd take it. It's just what you do when you get into the playoffs. I'd, like I say, want to go for the league, but we've had a really good summer, pre-season wise, signing wise. Going into the season, I'm very optimistic, like all Orient fans are, because we've got that stability now. We've got the players and the manager to take us up, and, you know, really, we should be going up this year. But, you know, you could never underestimate any other teams in this league. As you've seen last season, the smaller teams that come to Brisbane Road, they just want to come here and sit back and try and hit you on a counter-attack, and that worked a lot against us last season. You know, it didn't work in our favour at all, and we ended up losing quite a few games, especially under Davis, with teams just setting up and playing like that. So you have to be mindful but you can't show teams too much respect as well. I think we've got a good playing style. Like I say, reiterating that we've got a good manager, good players, good backroom staff. We're stable now, and that's all that we've been crying out for, really. Our pitch is tremendous. Last season it was awful, you know, they couldn't relay it or anything like that, but this season they've worked wonders on it. So, you know, all I can say is fair play to Colin James, the groundsman, for that, because it's looking superb. Also, team news wise, going into this game, we were without Matt Harrold until around October, I think. You know, he was injured towards the end of last season, and he's gonna, well, this is what the club has said, he's not gonna really be back till, you know, October. Gorman, again, I touched on it a little bit earlier, he probably won't be back for a few weeks or so yet, because he's just recovering from his injury. He's only played like 90 or 60 minutes. I don't know how long he played for against Greenwich, but, you know, he's only had 1 game since, you know, the break and his injury, so he's going to take a few weeks to get to match fitness as well. Apart from that, we've got a full squad for selection. Karoma picked up a little niggle in pre-season against St Albans, I think it was, and he didn't play in the Southend game, which was a good decision by Edinburgh, because hopefully, you know, he'll have recovered in time for this game against Salford, and he'll be injury-free. But yeah, I'm excited for the game now, really. And here is the key men of both teams to look out for. Though I haven't seen him play, Salford's star man has got to be Adam Rooney. A lot of eyebrows were raised when he signed from Scottish Premier League side Aberdeen, which was reported for quite a large sum, and apparently he's on quite a bit of money, but he scored goals in the Scottish Premier League, and he's dropped down a few divisions, obviously, to do that. He's come from Scotland to the top. He's switched Europa League football for non-league football in England, so he hasn't really got to prove himself, but he's going to score a lot of goals, let's be honest. Our star man is, of course, Macaulay Bon. What can you say? 20+ goals in the division last season, wanted by some Football League clubs this window. We've managed to keep hold of him so far. And of course, he's a striker. He's going to want to score goals again, and that's what he does. Also, I'd imagine we'd be wearing this top, the away top against Salford. Of course, we're not going to wear the red one. Oh, we've still got a tag in it. Of course, we're not going to wear the red one because their kit is red. But we'll likely wear this. You know, we're not going to wear pink against the team that are playing in red either. So that'll be the shirt. Saturday. I briefly touched on this in the Southend vlog, and I think a lot of Orient fans have said this as well, and I definitely agree. I don't like the new season ticket format really this season. It's just tickets, and I'm not a fan. You know, I like my season ticket booklet like this one from last season. That's what I quite like about being a season ticket holder. But yeah, with the tickets, I don't like it. So hopefully Orient, you can take note for next season and change that. I'm going to leave you with a picture that was released today by Orient on Twitter of the official first team photo to get you excited and get your spirits up for the game. But yeah, this has been great to do this. I've quite enjoyed this actually. Definitely going to continue it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Also, if you think of any names for the video and the show as well. So yeah, up the O's. I'll see you Saturday, I guess.